All right, we're back again to review Thursday. Look ahead to Friday's NBA action, but Jalen Johnson, he goes big again. James Harden, can he continue to do it all himself? We're yet to find out. Tyrese Maxey also goes large in this one. Let's chat about that and let's preview the Friday games. G'day, everybody. Welcome back to the Ball Logic Fantasy Basketball Podcast. I'm your host, Braino, and joined by Malley in the studio after a bloody good game, 4 games of Thursday NBA, mate. We were talking off air about James Harden and can he keep doing it by himself? Is there shutdown risk? And does that mean you're an owner of James Harden, Malley?
It does mean I'm an owner of James Harden, so I'm hoping that they can start to put some games together. But yeah, it's nervous times. It's nervous times if you're a Kings owner of any of the Sacramento boys, because that's just, I mean, I guess the difference is they'll probably move some of those guys and they'll have value after the trade deadline. But yeah, I don't know if they'll do that with Harden. Yeah, but he might go through his little sad period and say he wants out, and I guess he's been able to do it in the past. So he says he
It's
can't do
true.
it again.
Yeah, it's true. He's been playing some good ball. He's been doing it all himself. There's a fair bit to talk about today, so let's just get straight into the rewind. All right, for everybody watching on YouTube, we'll bring Mally on the screen. We'll bring everybody up on the screen here so you can see what's going on. But we'll start with the Clippers and the Orlando Magic, mate. James Harden tried his best, but it seems like 31 minutes, 31 points, 8 assists, 5 boards, 2 steals just wasn't enough because no one else went with him, Mally. It's a bit of a tough situation out there. They've lost Beal. It's pretty much Zubac and Harden doing everything over there with not much help.
Isn't it funny? We really looked at this team at the start of the season and we're like, oh man, they're so deep. Like the depth of this team is going to just be like insane to try and come up against. And they've lost a few bodies, and it's like John Collins looks like done. Brooks looks done. And Chris Dunn looks done. I mean, he was done before the season started, and Zeus looked okay. Like he just, even now that he's getting everything his way, he still doesn't look anywhere near as good as he looked last season. And Harden's been good every game.
Mm.
Like not just like he's really trying to win, and he just can't get anyone else to kind of come to the table with him. I took in a deep league Kobe Standers today, and he was trash. So I thought anyone named Kobe might be able to do some good things for me, and I was sorely mistaken because he really didn't do anything today. He had 26 minutes and he did diddly squat in them. Same if you're a John Collins owner. I mean, he's getting opportunity and he's doing near nothing. Oh, that one surprises me. Like,
Mm.
we knew that he wasn't going to be like he was last season in Utah, but man, he's just like completely gone. He's gone back to the worst type of John Collins.
And the last time we saw the worst type of John Collins was in Atlanta, in his last year in Atlanta. And tell me that James Harden and Trae Young don't play very, very similar type basketball. Just ISO ball, get out of the way. I'm going to look for my three, or I'm going to use the pick and roll. John Collins just seems to be sitting there in the corner, just waiting for an opportunity, exactly like he did in that last year in Atlanta. So it's, yeah, no coincidence, similar type players there. But yeah, no Beal, no Kawhi. There's a lot going on here, and it's hurting them. But the Magic are playing and they're taking advantage of that, aren't they? Jalen Suggs could not miss early. I don't know whether you caught any of this game, but he was hot from three. I think he was 5 from 6 from three to start, and then he missed his last few. He has been really good the last few games. He's a guy I kind of wrote off through the draft, just thinking, Desmond Bain coming into this team and Paolo taking the next step. Franz Wagner played well last year. I just don't see the pathway for Jalen Suggs to be relevant. And over the last couple of weeks, I think he's been a top 80 player. So you'd be pretty happy to pick him up. I think he went at 110, 120.
Yeah, and yeah, if you picked him up and you're getting this Jalen Suggs like you were at the start of last year, you must be absolutely stoked. The defensive numbers, he's got a bit of the James Harden's. Well, actually, to be fair, this is one thing James Harden isn't doing this year. Last year and his previous few years, he's been a steals and a block guy, like straight out,
Yeah.
which is kind of ironic because he's not doing that anymore. Yet Kevin Huerter is like a 1 block per game guy. So, I guess some guard out there in the league just has to average a block per game when you won't think they will. A kind of a quieter game for Wagner. I thought he might try and take a little bit more advantage while Paolo out. Same with Wendell Carter. He's been playing unreal. And to go 3 of 11 is a bit sad for him. Like he's basically been getting to a double no problems. But the little story for me, I guess, is Tristan Da Silva, who I've got in 2 of my 5 leagues, and he's just been good. Like he's just been good. He's been able to get like 50% from the field. He's been able to hit some threes. He's got some rebounds. He doesn't get you any defensive stats, or assists, but like he goes out there and he's doing his job, and he's doing his job well. As soon as Paolo comes back, he's worth nothing. But man, he's definitely been a great pickup for me over these first, whatever it's been, 3 or 4 games since Paolo went out.
Yeah, I've got him as well in a deeper league. He has been awesome. So yeah, and look, in typical Orlando Magic fashion, I think Jamal Mosley was asked what's going on with Paolo Banchero and what's the timeline look like, and they just basically said there is no timeline. We don't give timelines. So
I don't give any.
No, they're giving us nothing. So yeah, look, just stream him until he's relevant, and then drop him if you have to. But
was Jonathan Isaac standing behind him with a big grin on his face, going, "You've heard this before"?
It could have been. Look, and speaking of Jonathan Isaac, he just can't get more than 16 minutes, can he? So it might be just a career max. I think he's maxed out of his minutes per game there at around that 16 mark. But yeah, you're right. Tristan Da Silva's been huge. Angel Reese's boyfriend, Wendell Carter Jr., he's been all right lately as well. So shout out to him. He's got a little bit of a boyfriend boost in points there now that that's coming out.
Obviously, you need to keep up with the times, because I thought she was still going out with Jalen Duran.
Nah, it's Wendell Carter Jr. He came out on a podcast the other day. I think he was asked something in an interview and confirmed that he was dating her. So good on him.
Well, obviously, hopefully she needs to leave him, because as soon as she was away from Jalen, he's just been gone absolutely nuts. So maybe when they break up, you might want to start picking up Wendell Carter Jr. in whatever league you can get him in, and hope that the relationship doesn't last.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe it's there's a few NBA players out there that dated which Kardashian was it? I can't remember which one.
I think it was just
the model,
Kim, but maybe
one,
no,
the thin one.
It was
Kyle. No, Jenner. She was a Jenner.
Yeah, Kylie.
Kylie.
No,
I
don't know.
I can't keep up.
It's one of them.
You can tell we're not very cultured.
Yes, I had
they can hang out together.
One of my basketball fantasy teams, I think it must have been 5 years ago now when this was a real thing, was the Kardashian clam captives. And it was Blake, it was Harden, it was
Devin
Tristan
Booker.
Thompson, Devin Booker. Yeah, I had this sick team that I just
Simmons.
basically made. Yeah, Benny might have been in there, but it was a great team, basically just built off. And I was doing any sort of trade I could, even if it was like a negative to my team, just to be able to get everyone that family had lay down with.
That's so good. Love it. Let's move on. We've got Grizzlies put an absolute dent in the Sacramento Kings. I think the Kings are just done. Like they're just nothing really makes sense. And the Grizzlies are coming off 5 L's in a row, right? They have not been playing well at all. Obviously no Ja, and they've gone and won by 41 points. That just tells you where the Sacramento Kings are this year. 3-13. They just can't win away. It's a mess. Drew Eubanks gets the start. He'll get a start, and he's obviously going to be the main pickup here, the main beneficiary with Domantas Sabonis being out. But Precious Achiuwa also got a start there, and we saw Keegan Murray come back off the bench, albeit he got 33 minutes. So I'm sure that'll probably swap, and we'll see Keegan Murray come back into the starting lineup eventually once he gets his legs under him, Malley.
Yeah, and it'll change nothing. I mean, Precious Achiuwa's doing nothing, and Keegan Murray will come back in and kind of do nothing on good efficiency, because that's what he's been doing for the last 4 years that he's been in the league. But what a romping. At least with the Clippers, they're trying to put up a fight. Like everyone out there, good or bad, still looks like they want to win. And this team, that's disgusting. When the hopes and dreams of your team and your franchise lay on the shoulders of Russell Westbrook, things are grim. And same with it's like DeMar and Zach can't have a good game on the same night. They just take it in turns, from one of them being a single digit scorer while the other one puts up 20 and then they swap. I don't think either of them have been in double digits together for like 4 games. Like, yeah, it's a mess. And you can't even say, oh, it was because Sabonis was out, because even when he's been in, they have been getting thumped. But yeah, this looks like a Kings versus OKC line, not a Kings versus a Memphis Grizzlies team that don't have a point guard.
Yeah, no Jaren Jackson Jr., no Jar. Yeah, complete shambles. DeMar
Yeah.
DeRozan in foul trouble in this one. Only played 15 minutes. Only took 3 shots. I reckon you'd have to go fair way back in the archives to find the last time DeMar DeRozan only took 3 shots in a game. But yeah, not much to talk about there. Dennis Schroeder putting up some 2 at 8 type numbers there. 0 from 8 from the field. 0 from 4 from 3. Yeah, that's about all that needs to be said there. For the Grizz, though, Santi Aldama took his opportunity. 28 minutes, 29 points, 11 on 18, nearly 50% from 3, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. So a very good game from him. Cedric Coward continues to be solid. Zach Edey in I think his 2nd or 3rd game back, he didn't miss.
Yeah, only 2nd.
And Vince Williams Jr., mate, he is doing his best Chris Paul impersonation with 15 assists in this one. 2 steals as well to add to that. So a nice little waiver wire pickup if he's still sitting on the wire there. Should be able to get you a few assists.
Yeah, I nabbed him. Can't even remember what league now. And I thought, oh, that'll be nice to get 6 assists. And in what has nearly tripled that. And only 3 turnovers, if you care about those, on 15 assists. That's a good assist to turnover ratio right there. I mean, the 4 points is a bit disappointing. But yeah, I mean, I think you can forgive and forget for a guy who may be about to win you assists. You know, there's some teams that don't put up 15 assists in a day, and he's basically done that all by himself. But yeah, not much else to talk about there. Santi Aldama gets he plays well when he's in that starting lineup and gets the opportunity. It just, they never really want to put him in there. This must have been really difficult for them to allow him. It's like you know, there's an old Indian curse or something, and if they start Santi Aldama, something horrible is going to happen, like Jar finds another gun or something like that. Like there's a direct correlation to something bad happening for the Grizzlies, but they decided it must have been worth it today.
And don't you just love Cam Spencer and Pat Spencer putting up like 17 assists within a day of each other together as a combination? You know, that they're getting minutes now for for Golden State and for the Grizz, and good on them. Must be some sort of
Are they related?
Power.
Yeah, they're twins, are they? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because I remember Pat Spencer and Cam Spencer came up to guard it. He one was guarding the other at the end of a game. I think it was when Golden State played the Grizzlies a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, twin power somehow.
Isn't that funny? I just didn't think of them. I knew there was one on each team, and I didn't think that it was twins, let alone not being the same person. You know, like I just thought, oh, there he goes again. Geez, didn't he only play last night and the night before? Are they doing 3 back-to-back games now? But no, it's 2 different blokes on 2 different teams.
That's kind of the same bloke, but a different bloke, different entities. 76ers 123 beat the Bucks in OT. It took it to OT, so credit to the Bucks for getting this close without Giannis. They've done a pretty good job there off the back of Ryan Rollins. I'm sure we'll talk about very soon. But yeah, Philly, Paul George looked like, I don't want to go and say prime or peak Paul George, but he looked much better than Podcast P. I'll put it like that. Andre Drummond only played 18 minutes in this one, so we saw Don Barlow get a lot of the big man minutes there in the middle. But Tyrese Maxey, mate, like 47 minutes. He spent like 7 minutes off the court. 18 from 30, 54 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, and 3 blocks. That is just insane numbers this year. That is insane.
He's out there so much and running so much that I reckon by the end of the year he will have shrunk 2 inches because they're just grinding him down like a rock on the pavement. Like, people shouldn't be playing that much elite sport in they're just, bodies aren't made to play 47 minutes of basketball. Geez, man, I hope it's worth it because you're basically crushing the guy. But that stat line's been amazing. If you picked him up, you must be absolutely stoked because there would have been questions going through your head, even for the more confident Maxi drafters. He's been wonderful. The rest of the team, so what? They kind of aren't doing a whole lot. But yeah, nice to see PG, if you were that patient to hold on to him for that long, come and put 20 points up. Did he even have a 20-point game last season?
I reckon
Probably
he
bloody
wouldn't have.
not.
No, he
No.
wouldn't have.
So to do that in his second run out, it's pretty good.
Absolutely. Yep. Very good signs early on until I'm sure he'll miss some time.
Mm.
He played 25 minutes. He'll probably have to have 3 games off after that. So just, temper your expectations. Quentin
Yeah.
Grimes was also pretty good off the bench there. We played a lot of minutes. Pretty good's maybe a stretch, but he got 39 minutes in this game, obviously due to the OT. So if he's on your wire there, maybe there's some minutes there if things don't change. For the Bucks, Kuzma, 38 minutes. AJ Green, 36 minutes. They all kind of did it a little bit. They did enough. Bobby Portis, Kuzma, and Miles Turner. But it was Ryan Rollins, mate, wasn't it? 32 points, 6 boards, 14 assists, and a steal. He just
Yeah.
continues to get better and better. And I think we did say, when was it, a couple of nights ago, the stats without Giannis are very impressive. He averages over 25 points per game without Giannis. So I'm interested to see what this next couple of weeks stretch looks like without him.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch this game, but I'm guessing he spent time trying to guard Maxi too, so he would have been
Mm.
burning the candle at both ends. But yeah, that's a stunning performance. Miles Turner still not doing very much. It was good that he got a double double because he hasn't been able to do very much. But then to not get any steals or blocks when he is a guy who can get 2 steals and 2 blocks in a game. I think I got a new nickname for Kyle Kuzma too. I reckon we call him the Plutonium Rod because if you hold on to him too long, you start to get sick. Like you gotta handle and then like release, and you just don't
I
know
like
when
it.
he's gonna like. He's had other games where he's had plenty of opportunity and absolutely stunk it up. He will only play a good game if I don't pick him up, and if I do pick him up, he'll go 1 from 9 and get no other
Mm-hmm.
stats. But yeah, nothing too exciting in this one besides Ryan Rollins being an absolute warrior. Yeah, nothing else I think worth talking about there.
Nah, not at all. I mean, we did see, because Yahoo thankfully sends you a notification when someone's been picked up in the league, and I think it was Skitty in the chat basically said, "Malley, are you okay? Is everything all right?" Because he went and picked up
Mm,
Kuzma.
mm.
I'm assuming everything isn't all right now off the back of the stinker that Kuzma put up the other day. Did you drop him or did you hold on?
No, I definitely dropped him. I think it was only was that the it must have been a 2 game day or something for me to slink to that kind of level of depravity. But yes, down I went.
Yeah, fair, fair. The Spurs knocked off the Hawks in the final game of the day today as well, sadly, as a Hawks man. But Hawks coming off a couple of back-to-back losses now, so maybe the reality's starting to kick in. I think everybody was feeling pretty good about how things were going without Trey, but yeah, a bit of a reality check without him. Nikhil Alexander-Walker, though, went huge in this game. 38 points for him, 4 boards, 5 assists, and 3 blocks. But Jalen Johnson, again, is the man, isn't he? 26 points, 12 boards, 7 assists, and a steal. He just continues to
Mm.
be the main number one guy, like all-star type numbers for him without Trey, and I'd be very surprised if he's not an all-star when that comes around.
Yeah, I'd like to see him keep it up. Obviously, the assists, which are sitting around what he got today, around that 7 mark, are going to kind of fall back off again.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just good to see that he can do it. He is an amazing player. I hope that, touch wood, that no injury befalls him at any time soon because he's been playing superbly. But you just look at this box score, and you'll go down to San Antonio, and we'll talk about them in a minute. I've had to like do some quick maths like 8 times to figure out where the points came from for San Antonio to get 135. Like no one are they sure? Do they need to run it back and just make sure that there wasn't a 9-point error? Because you look at this and like I guess 2 guys did get 20 points and Julian Champagny and then De'Aaron Fox, but yeah,
Keldon
I don't
Johnson
know.
as
Like,
well.
yeah, and that's guess where it comes from. But like, yeah, like if you're looking at like the other statistics for this game, there's not a lot of assists there. There's not even a lot of rebounds there. Did they just run up the court, shoot, and sink? So they
And
didn't have
that's
any chance to get an assist or a rebound.
that's not a very Atlanta type game because we're usually top 10 in pace. Like we don't muck
Yes.
around too much. We just get the job done. And I would assume in a De'Aaron Fox led team, Spurs would be doing a lot of similar stuff. Um, but yeah, it was more the sharing across the board, I think, for the Spurs, wasn't it? It was Champagny got 20, Fox 26, Keldon Johnson got 25. And then another 3 guys got double figures in Davis, Jones, Garcia, whoever the fuck that is. Devin Vassell got 15, Harry Barnes got 16, and then a couple of 8s from Sohan and Kelly Olynyk. So like it was pretty shared across the board. Um,
Yeah. And I'll take my 8, 5, and 5 from Jeremy Sohan that I picked up in another one of the deep leagues. Must have been one of Carl's leagues, and held him today just to be able to get that. What do you do with Luke Cornett? I mean, he had that one stinker, and I think everyone who had him held him. And now he's had 2 in a row, and I see that he's dropping back on the waiver wires again. Do you think he played way better than this coming off the bench behind Wemby in half the minutes. So what's the go? Is it just because he's starting now and it's just not the role for him?
I think that having Wemby on the court creates this fissure of attention, doesn't it? Like a Cornet would not have anybody within 5 feet of him when Wemby's on the court. So I would say maybe now Cornet just being the main centre, the guy that's relied upon to do all the dirty work, he's not capable of doing that. I look, honestly, I'd probably drop based on what I've seen the last couple of days. He's just done absolute sweet FA. I don't think he's a starting. Well, we know he's not a starting centre in the league. So yeah, for me, probably just not. I'd probably look elsewhere personally. But
yeah, and I guess this is realistically the reason why guys like him aren't starting on a team.
Yeah.
You know, they are a backup for a reason. It's because they're just not ready for starters minutes, starters responsibilities, and that's kind of basically what's got him here. But yeah, I'm surprised they're not trying to play a little bit more of Kelly Olynyk. But I guess they just got 7 Kelly Olynyks on this team, guys who can get 10 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Like they don't really need to. He's not a special man on this team.
No, not anymore. That's for sure, mate. That's the 4 games. Let's have a chat about some waiver targets for Friday's NBA.
Targets acquired.
First game, mate. We'll go through the games. Indiana, Cleveland tomorrow. Kick things off. Now, I'm just looking down here. We've still got Neesmith out. Looks like they're starting with Ben Shepherd now. So Jerace Walker's dropped back to the bench. I'd probably drop Jerace Walker if he's off the bench. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, and now that they got Mathurin back, who likes to score, but he can actually get him in, which is something that Jarris can't do. And the other thing that Jarris could do was get a few rebounds for you, and Mathurin's just scooping up like 14 of those, whatever he did the other day. I think the team's back into close enough to being full strength for it. He's the role and the opportunity he's had is kind of closed. I don't know if there's any obvious pickups, especially now that the team's coming back to they're only down Neesmith, really, and they've got kind of every other main piece, obviously, minus Halliburton.
Obi Toppin,
so
probably is the
and Obi as well. I forgot about Obi, but maybe there's better pickups on the other side of the fence.
Could be. Absolutely. So Jared Allen is questionable for Cleveland. Darius Garland and Jalen Tyson also questionable. So again, it just puts
Tyson.
so many question marks around what's going to happen there with this starting lineup. If Allen's out, they shift Mobley to the 5. How do they play that? Craig Porter Jr. is the obvious one. If there's no Garland, no Tyson, but again, there's nobody screaming out at me at this point in time. We've still got another probably 12, 14 hours until this game's played. So, it's a wait and see for me. But yeah, Garland back could be good for the Cavs, or will be good for the Cavs for sure. And if Allen's fit to go, they'll be hard to beat.
Yeah, maybe a little bit damaging to Donovan Mitchell because he's been putting up. Actually, the last game he was a little bit quiet, but before that, he's been like a first-round guy. Basically, he's been doing everything. I guess Mobley's maybe been a little bit quiet on the team, and maybe when Garland comes back, everything settles down a bit more, and we get Mitchell falling back to his comfortable spot in maybe the 30s, and we get a little bit more of Mobley in that like late 20s type range that he was at last year. So we'll see how that all settles out. Not really good, as you said, for people looking for waiver wire pickups. Maybe if you want to roll the dice because he can do a lot in the minutes and there's still guys out in his position, maybe it is time to look at Jalen Tyson.
Yeah, if he gets named, the defensive stats are good enough, and he was putting up some pretty good numbers and good production without Garland. I'm interested to see how that all looks. Brooklyn and Boston, the next one. Yegor Dielman continues to get the start there, but he's only playing like 18 to 22 minutes, so it's, I don't know, a little bit of fool's gold there maybe. I'm not looking at Brooklyn at all, to be completely honest. I've got Noah Clowney in a league, and I think that's about as far as I really want to go into Brooklyn. It's a bit of a dog's
Yeah,
breakfast out there.
possibly Sharp, only because Claxton seems to have cooled off a little bit after being like he's nearly been a top 10 guy just with even with his free throw episodes that he has where he can barely sink them. But he's looked really good. So maybe, I mean, this is deep leagues only. I wouldn't be picking him up in 12s or 14s, but 16s, 18s, 20s, like we go, our sickos in these deep leagues. Maybe he's worth picking up there.
Yeah, for sure. And Boston, there's no real changes here. The world's worst battle of who can play power forward the most. Jordan Walsh versus Josh Minot. And neither of them really, for me, are showing too much relevance, so I'd probably steer clear of that. I mean, they're the fifth option on the court whenever they're on there, so it kind of doesn't mean much. So I'd probably steer clear from Boston. Do you agree?
Yeah, same. That's the only position that's worth streaming in, and it's just too hard. None of them have been good. They've all had a chance. Like Walsh and Minor have both had their goes. They obviously started with Bosch, not Bosch. Who's the guy? Like Bosch.
Bring him back out of retirement.
That was a throwback. Who am I thinking of? What's the guy who used to play for Toronto? Who plays for them now?
Chris Boucher.
Thank you very much, Chris Boucher. Boucher and Bosch, that's.
Close. Luka Garza got a little bit of a go as well. Like, Chris Boucher's barely played any minutes all year. He's fucking done something over there to piss someone off. But
because they got plenty of trot in the preseason, and we were like, here we go. Like, they're going to, he's going to have one last crack at a career, an NBA career, and he's too old. He's no good, so he's out.
Yep. Mate, the only one, we'll move on to Washington. Washington take on the Toronto Raptors, and Alex Sarr is questionable. So if Sarr doesn't play, maybe Vucevic could be a nice little pick up there. I think Marvin Bagley's also doubtful. So if they're both out, he's kind of the only center left on the roster, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's a gold mine in fantasy worlds. Like he can do a lot. He's a good scorer. He can get rebounds. He'll get a couple of assists. He may end up being the stream of the day. If Bagley's in, they'll play Bagley, which will kind of cap him at the knees a little bit. But yeah, I'm a bit off Washington at the moment. I picked up Bub the other day, I knew the scoring wasn't going to be good, but I'm like, I'll get the assists I need. If I can get 7 assists out of him, even if the percentages are grim and the points don't come, and he couldn't even do that. And I was like, oh, forget it. Like, sorry I asked so little of you, Bub.
Yes, don't ever ask anything of Bub. That's the consensus. Toronto, nothing happening over there. They're pretty much full strength minus Colin Murray-Boyles. So no real obvious pickups from Toronto. Miami and Chicago. A couple for Miami now. No Wiggins, no Jovic, and still no Hero, of course. Pele Larson's been pretty solid. If he's on your wire, I actually don't mind Larson. He's been good, and he's kind of filling the stats. He's hitting a couple of threes. He'll get you a few assists as the secondary ball handler as well. I like what he's been able to do.
Yeah, and he's super consistent. Like, even though it's only 10, 4, and 5 every night, man, that's good. Like, he just literally is copy and paste. He gets the same minutes. He does the same things. He doesn't have good nights or bad nights. So basically, the things that he's averaging are what he's doing every night. You have these other guys that have these mid kind of stats, but it takes an awesome game and then a poor game. It's great to have someone like Pele Larson on the wire because you're like, okay, I need 10 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. And that's what he averages, and that's what he's going to get tonight. It usually just depends if he's going to get 5 rebounds, 4 assists, or 4 rebounds, 5 assists. That's the only the only unknown about what his game's going to bring. But yeah, he's probably the pickup. But it'll just be interesting to see where everything settles. I worry a little bit for my point guard stocks what's the guy who's playing point guard? Man, this is the second one in one night. Fridays are tough for me. Who's the
Davion
point
Mitchell.
guard over there? Yes, thank you, Davion. Yeah, I'm a little worried what happens to him when Hero comes back. But then again, I'm thinking that he's played well enough and he just does his role quite well that they might even keep him in there and then they can put back Tyler Hero
Non-power.
to being that shooting guard again and just allow him to shoot and go nuts and not have to worry about anything because Davion too is quite a good defender, so he can pick people up coming back the other way. So I do have hope there. It is clear that Spo doesn't want anything to do with Khalil Ware. Like he's not giving him any opportunities. For a guy who's been playing his absolute butt off, Hame Hakez is not getting any starts. They're just happy with him being the sixth man. So it's not like, oh, there's a chance that he'll squish in. They're just, I suppose, happy with him there. So yes, a little bit of hope left in that one. And
They want
maybe
that award.
yes, they do. Maybe on that, maybe on the other side, when you're talking about Chicago, it's less who to pick up and who to let go. After talking about Kevin Huerter getting me a rebound consistently every night, every game he's played this season, it just dropped off like with everyone back. And this is without, well, not even everyone because they didn't play Jones the other night. He's been out for a couple. So I'd say that's just going to cripple all three of them. There goes Herder, there goes Jones, and there goes Dosunmu. I think they're all going to really hurt. And Kobe's come back, and he didn't need to warm up. He's looked great. He's been just straight back into it. I know he hasn't had enough of a sample size for it to mean anything, but he's like the fifth ranked dude or something at the moment just because he's been electric.
He's been awesome. Kobe White is questionable tomorrow, as is Trey Jones. So we'll see how that all looks tomorrow morning when we get a bit closer to the game. And just on Spo and not liking Khalil Ware, tomorrow is the ultimate test for Spo and whether he wants to lean into Simone Fontecchio to start because there are no other options at power forward. He has to start at power forward if he's not going to go Bam at the 4 and Khalil Ware to start at centre. So tomorrow is the ultimate test. If he does not start Khalil Ware, it's just he's never going to start him.
Yep. And because the perfect storm has brewed, and you're right. If he doesn't get what he needs out of this, it's never going to get more perfect. Even the other night, though, like people might have thought to drop him, and he's still got like 15 rebounds in like 20 minutes or something ridiculous. So like even that, but then he's kind of realistically turning into Andre Drummond. Like, he's just a guy that gets 8 points, 15 rebounds. Like that's just Andre Drummond.
What a comparison. That's a career highlight, I'm sure, for Khalil Ware to be called Andre Drummond. Pelicans, Dallas in the next one, mate. For the Pels, no changes. Derek Queen probably continues to start, I would say, next to Zion, and Queen looked great, didn't he, in his first game? So I'm assuming that in those kind of 12 team or maybe even 10 team, he should be rostered. Simple as that. So if by some miracle you've got him on your wire, just grab him.
He is a hard watch. Like he's great on the offensive end. I saw, what was it? It must have been when they were playing Denver the other day. I watched the start of the game where Jokic had like 5 turnovers in the first like 4 minutes or something insane. He was just throwing the ball at people in the crowd to see what reaction. He's so bored with basketball. He's got to do weird stuff to spice it up now, just like throw the basketball at people and then go, it doesn't matter. I can do this and then I'll just win later. Like that, it must have been after he'd done 5 turnovers, he walked straight up to the 3-point line and just let one go and it just fell straight down. It was so impressive. But there was one play, and I was like, that just summarizes Queen. Nikola Jokic was coming down the middle. I think it was basically nearly a 2-on-1. And the other defender who was not closer to the rim walked out to defend the guy who was coming down into 3-point range. And Queen was straight in front of him. And then Queen decided, no, I'm not going to go for the ball, which is like basketball 101, like your junior coaches would say, like stop the pill. And he just went out and double guarded whoever it was out on the 3-point line. Like it was the wildest play I've ever seen. I was like, oh my God. And I thought they would take him off there, but no, they left him on long enough to get his 30 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. So, geez, it was ugly. I was like, oh God, what was he thinking? And it wasn't even like he was
perfectly.
Yeah, it wasn't even like he was like, oh, it's going to be a career ender if I stay in front of Jokic. It wasn't like a fear move or like a career saver. He just was like, no, I think Jokic is going to get one more step closer to the rim, and then he's going to kick it out to a guy who's being heavily guarded because we need a 3, not a 2. And yeah, it was a shame.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, we're not picking up anyone for the Pels anyway. But Dallas, they've still got Brandon Williams starting at this point. No Kyrie, obviously, until the new year. Still no AD. He's going to be reevaluated, I think, at the start of next week. So we'll get a bit more news there. But yeah, aside from that, it's Max Christie seems to be the logical pickup there if you need some threes and points. Maybe even a steal or two. He's actually been defending quite well, as has Brandon Williams. So both of those guys probably end up being the pickups there. Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford seem to be sharing minutes, a bit of a minute split right down the middle there too, coming off injuries themselves. So yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty for me at Dallas. I'm probably steering clear for most there.
The only guy I'm ever interested in is Najee Marshall, and he's been a little bit muted now that they've got PJ back. But yeah, he's a guy that I'm just always keeping in my favorites list, ready to pick up. Yeah, just because I know that he can do a little of everything, and they're my favorite type of waiver guys.
Yeah, completely agree. All right, Minnesota and Phoenix are next. Jaden McDaniels, he is questionable for this one. So I was hoping we'd see a little bit of jingles, but he's also questionable. So which makes me sad. Terrence Shannon Jr. is still out as well. So who's the replacement there at the 3? Jalen Clark probably ends up getting a bit of burn there. That's pretty much it. So no thanks. I'm not going anywhere near T. I always find like T-Wolves are really hard to stream. Like they're just a team that
hard to watch.
There's minimal value. Anthony Edwards and DiVincenzo, Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert. Like there's just the ball just lives and dies by them. So anybody else that even makes their way into the starting lineup, they're just like, you go stand over there, mate. Get out of the way. We'll just do our thing over this side.
Yeah, it's also, I know this isn't really relevant to streaming options, but it has been interesting to watch since he had his little time out and he's come back. Edwards just hasn't looked. He's looked like the second best player on this team behind Randall's. Like he's really kind of deferred to being the secondary offensive option, which is wild to see. But no one would have. This would have been on no one's. What's Matty like to say? No one's bingo cards for having Randall being like the guy who's taking away all the goodness that Anthony Edwards can bring. But yeah, if you're looking for a buy low, I reckon Edwards is one of the better ones out there right now, just because he's living in the shadows, and when he's not scoring, he's realistically not doing a lot else.
Agreed. For Phoenix, maybe Royce O'Neal, Ryan Dunn, whoever gets the start there, whoever gets the dominant minutes, that's probably my pick out of these guys. Of course, if Colin Gillespie's on your wire with no Grayson Allen, there's a chance for him to get some extra minutes too. It seems like they are leaning into Dylan Brooks playing more of a guard than a forward while these guys are out, so they can fit Royce O'Neal and Ryan Dunn into the starting lineup. So, yeah, we're not really spoilt for choice there, sadly, but. No. Neither are Phoenix by the looks of things. Denver and Houston, mate. Aaron Gordon looks like he'll be back. Peyton Watson, if he's on your wire, you need to get him. I picked him up a day early just because I knew that he wouldn't make it to today. You're not going to expect that 30-point line from him with the stocks and everything every game, but you're going to probably expect half of that. He should be pretty reliable.
Yeah. I think you saw nearly the worst of him the game before, and then you saw the absolute high watermark the game after. So, yeah, if you could get 13 points, 5-6 rebounds, 2 blocks and a steal, that's great value for a guy that you have off the waivers and you can just toss back, when they get back to full strength. But yeah, let's see what he can do with Aaron Gordon back, even though he'll continue to keep his starting lineup spot. Just be interesting to see what he'll do. Do with that. But it'll be a good game, a great game to watch. I feel like that might be the game of the day. It'll be really testing for Houston to see what they can do. I'm assuming they'll try their double big lineup on this one, just to, put a bit of size on Jokic.
I think they'd have to. Steven Adams is questionable for this one. So if it's not Steven Adams, it's, it makes it a little bit tougher to go with Capella, knowing that I don't think Capella has the same skill set that Adams has. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they play that. Jabari Smith's also questionable as well. He was questionable the day before last and ended up playing. So I'm interested to see whether he sits on this one just as a break.
And playing well, he got like 20 points, which is something that he doesn't do that often. So
yeah, he's been quite good. He has been good. The depth at power forward's rotten. Like no Tari Eason, no Dorian Finney-Smith still. If he's out, it's Jeff Green. So you will not catch me dead picking up Jeff Green off the waiver wire. So yeah,
you mock, but he only has to play 2 games a year, and he always plays well. Like he's the actual, like he's got a bit of whatever bronze elixir of youth is, because he'll still dunk on people. Like he's only ever going to play twice, but when he plays well, and they just put him back in his coffin and let him go back to his eternal rest.
The Undertaker, out for a couple of games and then back in the coffin. Portland, Golden State, mate. Drew Holiday and Shaden Sharp, they're both questionable in this one as well. So some guard minutes up for grabs potentially. But look, they're just using Denny Avdia as a pseudo point guard anyway, aren't they? While Drew's been out, how good's he been?
Yeah, he's been amazing. And you're right, they don't have any backup guards, so they can't back up any of the guards. And that basically means, Denny gets to be the offensive juggernaut. He gets to be the assist guy. They're letting him get the rebounds. And I see that Donovan Clingan went absolutely bananas the other day, but I'm guessing that he'll just go back to being good old 25 minutes and maybe a double kind of guy.
Yeah, City Sissoko seemed to get the start last game when Sharp and Holiday were both out, so maybe he's the guy. But again, the production was terrible. Like he did absolutely nothing in that respect. So Chris Murray potentially as well, but neither of them really grabbed me. So that's a pass. Good to see that Golden State have decided that they want to play their players this week as well. This game, Steph Curry's back. Jimmy Butler looks probable. Draymond Green's probable. Isn't it funny that Jimmy Butler just disappears when he has to play Miami? But now he's all good. Illness, quote unquote.
Yeah. He's that's just who Jimmy is, and that's what Jimmy does. Who was the bloke that they had been playing in the starting lineup, and they played him at power forward the other day when everybody was out? Because
might have been Will Richard.
Oh, geez, he was nauseating. I was like, oh, cool. He's 0-3 shots, but he's 3 rebounds. That's pretty good for the first 5 minutes. And then I saw it was 5 minutes to go at the end of the game, and I was like, oh my Lord, this is it. This is all I'm getting. Jeez. How can you be out there that long and not accidentally get an assist? It's like if you tripped on the ball and knocked it into someone's hands, you're probably going to get an assist off that.
You'd think so.
Lord.
It's rough. It's rough out there. But yeah, look, aside from that, I mean, Moses Moody's been okay in patches. If you want a guy that can pop off and get you 30 and then go 3 games where he doesn't score double digits, Moses Moody is your man. So if you want to ride that roller coaster and he's on your waiver wire, go and grab him. I've got him in a league at the moment. I like to try and play like guess when Moses Moody's going to do something. And it's like once a week, and you've got to pick the game that he's going to go big in. And it's never the one that you expect it to be. So that's always been a fun game this year. But he's been okay in patches too.
I think the local markets are on tomorrow, so I might go down to the tarot card reader and hit him up with that one and see if they know something more. I think that's the big question in my life is when's Moses Moody going to have another 30-point game? I'll put that on him tomorrow. I might have to pay extra for a reading that intense.
yeah, a bit of extra energy required. Last game, OKC versus Utah. Look, it's more a matter of is Shea going to play a fourth quarter ever again? My answer is no. They're just going to keep blowing teams out, and I think they're every chance to blow out Utah as well. Although Utah haven't been as bad as what we would expect them to be. They've been okay. Keontae George's been balling. Laurie Markkinen's got to score 40 points for them to get 100. So that's pretty much it. No pickups for me in OKC either because they all look fit and healthy aside from Aaron Wiggins and J-Dub. They're pretty much good to go.
I don't mind the Isaiah Collier pickup for Utah just because he, in a league where assists are like in dirt in Kevin Costner's Waterworld, where like you've got to hold on to them at all costs. You like that reference, don't you?
That's a good one. I'll write that.
Yeah, so basically he's able to get you 6 or 7 of those in the 24 minutes that they're giving him, and that's just fine. Like, he doesn't really damage your percentages because I don't let him do enough shooting. So, yeah, unless you're worried about turnovers, you're pretty much good to go. Just get some free assists. He also can get some defensive numbers as well, so you might get that from him.
Yeah, agreed. Some good references today. You got Kevin Costner references. We've also got Plutonium for Kyle Kuzma as well. So yeah, you've been in good form today.
Yep, we'll let that one go out there. But yeah, too bad I don't know any of the NBA players' names. That would be that would be great. I trade it all. I trade all my Kevin Costner backup references just to know Will whatever his name is named. So like you told me 3 minutes ago and I've already forgotten his name. He's not very memorable, to be fair to me.
Never trust a man with 2 first names, I think, is the best way to leave it. Guys, that's the wrap-up of Thursday. That is your streaming targets for Friday. Good luck tomorrow. It is a high-volume day, so just check your rosters before you go and make those pickups. Make sure they're usable for you. We come into the weekend there as well. We've got 5 teams, as a reminder, on the back-to-back. And those 5 teams are Chicago, Dallas, Denver, New Orleans, and the Wizards. So, yeah, if you want a bit of extra games out of them and you want some volume out of them, they're the 5 teams to be targeting for tomorrow. Good luck. Hopefully you can come into the weekend in a pretty good spot to win your matchups. Malley, always a pleasure, mate. Thanks for joining me.
Yep.
And
yep, always a pleasure, never a chore.
We'll be back on Sunday to hopefully help you win your matchups. We'll catch you then. See ya.